UConn got one of the most dominant players in the transfer portal, but it's not just about the points and rebounds. We're going to show you the numbers that prove Serah Williams isn't just a great player, she's the strategic answer to UConn's biggest problem.
Prime Field!
Welcome to the Huskies Show on Prime Field. In the world of collegiate basketball, championship defenses are often built on continuity. Rosters forged over years, with returning starters expected to lead the next campaign. For the University of Connecticut's 2025-2026 season, much of the public discussion has followed this familiar script, focusing on which established players will step up. Yet, the analysis may be missing the most critical factor. The single most pivotal piece of the Huskies' title defense puzzle may not be a returning star, but a new arrival, a 6'4" forward from Canada, who just transferred from the University of Wisconsin. Her name, Serah Williams. The central question is not if she will contribute, but why her specific skill set might matter more to UConn's championship aspirations than any returning player's potential improvement. The data suggests she is more than just another transfer. She represents a strategic acquisition, designed to solve a specific persistent problem. This is the story of how one player's arrival can reshape a program's destiny, and why Serah Williams is positioned as UConn's secret weapon. To understand the impact of Serah Williams, one must first look at the numbers. They tell a clear and compelling story of defensive dominance. In her sophomore season at Wisconsin, she earned the 2024 Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year award. This was not a token honor. It was the statistical validation of an elite rim protector. That season, Serah recorded 74 blocked shots. This figure on its own is formidable. It represents a constant threat, a tangible barrier that opposing offenses must account for on every possession, but the data goes deeper. She also secured 210 defensive rebounds. Critically, since this accounted for 75% of her total rebounding production. This is not the profile of a player who simply collects rebounds as they come. It is the mark of a specialist, whose primary focus is to end the opponent's possession, secure the basketball, and protect the paint. Her role at Wisconsin was not ambiguous. It was to be the team's defensive anchor, a responsibility she fulfilled with historical efficiency. It's this proven ability to erase offensive possessions that made Serah Williams one of the most sought-after assets in the transfer portal. A player like Serah Williams does more than just accumulate defensive statistics. Her presence on the floor creates what is known as the anchor effect. A truly elite shot blocker fundamentally alters the geometry of the court for an opposing offense. The area around the rim, the most efficient scoring zone in basketball, becomes contested territory. But the impact radiates outward. The knowledge that Serah is patrolling the paint allows UConn's perimeter defenders to operate with a different level of aggression. Consider a player like AZ Fudd. With a reliable rim protector behind her, a guard can take more calculated risks in the passing lanes, gambling for steals that can lead to easy transition baskets. If the gamble fails, and an offensive player gets past her, the defense is not immediately compromised. Serah is there to clean up mistakes. This creates a cascading defensive advantage. The entire team can apply more pressure, knowing their last line of defense is one of the nation's best. Serah's shot blocking doesn't just stop scores, it enables a more aggressive, turnover-focused defensive scheme, turning defense into the engine of the offense. The strategy of turning suffocating defense into efficient offense is deeply embedded in UConn's history. The program's most dominant eras were built on this foundation. Serah Williams' skill set aligns perfectly with this historical championship formula. Her ability to deliver momentum-shifting plays, a timely block that ignites a fast break, a crucial defensive rebound that halts an opponent's run, is precisely the kind of X-factor that defines deep tournament runs in March Madness. Championships are often won, not by the team that scores the most, but by the team that can consistently stop its opponent during critical moments. Serah provides that capability. Her block percentage and defensive rebounding rate are not just impressive statistics, they are tools. They represent the defensive anchor that allows head coach Gino Auriemma to implement the very defensive schemes that have historically led the program to titles. The acquisition of Serah Williams can be seen as a deliberate return to a core identity, a recommitment to the principle that defense is the ultimate catalyst for a championship. The arrival of Serah Williams doesn't just add a piece to the puzzle, it creates an entirely new picture in the front court. The pairing of Williams with incoming freshman Sarah Strong, a highly touted recruit, is set to form what basketball analysts refer to as a positionless front court. This modern basketball concept involves two forwards who possess a versatile blend of skills, allowing them to be interchangeable on both offense and defense. They are not confined to traditional roles of a power forward or a center. The Strong and Williams pairing presents a matchup nightmare for opponents. Their skills are complementary. Serah is recognized for her vision as a playmaker and her ability to shoot from the perimeter, which pulls opposing bigs away from the basket. This in turn creates space for Serah to operate, where she is most effective, in the paint, using her physicality and efficiency to score around the rim. Defensively, their combined size and agility mean they can switch assignments, guarding multiple positions, and disrupting an opponent's offensive flow. This combination is designed to be greater than the sum of its parts. In recent seasons, UConn has displayed a specific vulnerability against the most elite teams in the nation. Programs like South Carolina and LSU, built around dominant physical post players, have posed significant matchup problems for the Huskies. These opponents challenged UConn with a level of size and interior force that the Huskies sometimes struggled to counter. The addition of Serah Williams is a direct strategic response to this very issue. With Serah, UConn now possesses its own interior enforcer. She has the physicality to match up with the nation's most formidable bigs. But she also brings an element that many of those same opponents lack: elite, game-changing shot blocking. The Strong and Williams front court is not just about adding talent. It's about targeted problem solving. It's an acknowledgement of a past weakness, and a clear, decisive move to turn it into a potential strength. Facing the toughest competition no longer requires a compromise. It allows UConn to fight fire with fire. While her defensive prowess is her calling card, Serah Williams' offensive game is a case study in efficiency. Her profile is the archetype of what championship teams require from a role player. She provides maximum impact on the game, with minimal offensive possessions. Her career field goal percentage is exceptionally high, not because she's a high-volume shooter, but because she demonstrates a profound understanding of shot selection. She works within the flow of the offense, rather than demanding plays be run for her. This is a critical distinction. On a roster with ball-dominant elite scorers like AZ Fudd and playmakers like Serah Strong, Serah is the ideal complement. She does not need the offense to be centered around her to be effective. Her points come from offensive rebounds, putbacks, and high-percentage shots created by the attention her teammates draw. This low-usage, high-efficiency model is the hallmark of a winning player, one who understands their role and excels within it, making the entire team more dangerous without disrupting its established offensive hierarchy. The pursuit and successful recruitment of Serah Williams is indicative of a larger trend in modern college basketball: the strategic mastery of the transfer portal. Coach Gino Auriemma's approach in this instance represents a calculated and precise method of roster construction. The goal was not simply to acquire talent for talent's sake, or to chase a flashy name. It was not a like-for-like replacement of a departing player. Instead, the UConn coaching staff first identified a specific critical weakness: interior defense and rebounding against elite-level size. Once the need was defined, they targeted and acquired what was arguably the single best available solution in the entire country. This reflects a shift in how championship-caliber programs are now built. It is a move away from relying solely on multi-year development of young players, and toward a hybrid model where proven, experienced commodities are brought in to fill specific immediate needs. Serah is not a project, she is a finished product, ready to contribute in crucial moments from day one. No major roster changes without its potential risks, and the integration of a player as impactful as Serah Williams is no exception. Critics have raised valid concerns. One argument suggests that adding such a dominant interior player late in the offseason could disrupt the established chemistry of a returning roster. There's also the tactical question of spacing. If both Serah and Serah Strong operate primarily in the paint, it could potentially clog driving lanes for UConn's guards. Furthermore, there's the question of adaptation. At Wisconsin, Serah was often the primary offensive option. At UConn, she'll be part of a more balanced, star-studded offensive system. Adjusting to a new role, even one for which her skills are well suited, is a challenge. While these concerns are not trivial, the report suggests they must be weighed against the alternative: entering another high-stakes season without the necessary interior presence to compete at the absolute highest level. The potential reward, it seems, far outweighs the calculated risk. Ultimately, Serah Williams represents more than just a transfer addition. She is, in effect, championship insurance. College basketball's single elimination tournament is a crucible where a single bad matchup can end a season. Success in March is often determined by a team's ability to neutralize an opponent's primary strength. Serah provides UConn with the defensive versatility and interior presence to do just that. She is the piece that allows UConn to match up with any style of play, from fast-paced, guard-oriented teams to physical, post-dominant powerhouses. When the stakes are at their highest, teams need players who have already demonstrated they can dominate against elite competition. Serah Williams has that proven track record. She is the answer to a specific question, the solution to a known problem. And for a program with perennial championship aspirations, that proven ability may matter more than anything else.
Prime Field.